Hey guys, it's Abhiram here. Welcome back to another episode of Drive Terrain. Today I'm driving the all-new, but not exactly all-new, but the updated 2024 Lexus UX300h F Sport Prestige. Yep, that's a pretty long name, but the long name aside, what this is basically an update to the UX range. So it's the latest in the hybrid portfolio. So the 250h is no longer there. It's now replaced by this newer 300h. So power is up from 181 horsepower to 196 horsepower and 188 newton meters of torque. So quite interesting. Not much has changed on the exterior, but in the interior, quite a few things have changed. So we will have a look at what all has changed throughout this video. So what exactly is the Lexus UX? Well, it's a pretty interesting car. It is the entry-level model in the Lexus range. It's the cheapest way to get into the Lexus brand. And it competes with stuff like the Mercedes-Benz GLA, the Volvo XC40, the BMW X1, X2. Well, it's a bit debatable, but yeah. The luxury subcompact crossover SUV segment, that's what this competes in. So yeah, let's have a detailed walk around of the exterior and the interior, and then I'll take it for a drive. It's quite interesting. So you have both the regular UX as well as the UX hybrid. So the regular UX starts at 165,000 for the base Premier variant, all the way up to 180,000 for the full option F Sport Prestige. And the UX hybrid will start at 170,000 for the base Premier variant, all the way up to this top F Sport Prestige, which comes in at about a whopping 185,000 dirhams. So now let's talk about exterior styling on the Lexus UX. Well, it looks pretty good. I mean, some people have mixed opinions about the spindle grille, but I think the spindle grille always looks pretty good for the Lexus, and it kind of has its own identity because of that. And you have your LED DRLs as well. Again, some LED DRLs over there. You get normal bulbs for the indicators, however, again, bi-beam LED headlamps. You have fog lamps here on the bottom as well, again, LED. And overall, yeah, it's a pretty imposing front end for a car this small. Coming to the side profile, again, you get the same sharp creases and lines. So you get these body creases going all throughout. So it's a very flowing design. You get this 18-inch F Sport aluminum wheels, which I think look pretty nice. You get the F Sport badge over there. You get electronically folding mirrors, however, they do not auto-fold when locking. Keyless entry and go. You've got a lot of cladding going on all throughout the car, again, to give it that SUV-like presence. And yeah, a generous dose of chrome all throughout around the window. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the side profile. Well, coming to the back, you do get this very sharp and Japanese-like styling with this long LED light bar. It looks pretty nice at night. Looks absolutely stunning. You do get regular bulbs though for the indicators. And I believe it's one of the first models in the Lexus range to bring out this kind of styling. And we have seen the same design language on the new RX and the LX as well. And what else? At the back, you get the UX300h badge. You get a Lexus badge over there. And yeah, some piano black trims. You got the exhaust down there, a real exhaust, no fake exhaust stuff going on. Pretty good. And now let's cover the boot space, which, by the way, this doesn't have an electric tailgate, so you just have to, well, let's switch here. Open it manually like that. Now, in the back, we've got quite some decent space. I'll put the boot space figure down. And yeah, well, it's not a lot of space. I mean, yeah, you can put a few bags, maybe one suitcase, and that's pretty much it. It's got quite a high loading lip, as you can see. And there's some more space down below, so that's good. You can put some stuff there. And yeah, what other compartments do we have? We have another compartment here to keep some stuff. And over there, I believe we have another compartment as well. So yeah, overall, not that big of a boot, but yeah, you've got decent space to carry your everyday things for the city trip that you're going to do in this car. Now, quite a few things have actually changed compared to the previous model when it comes to the interior. So let's talk about the different features in here. First of all, the scroll wheel that you had below the armrest to increase and decrease the volume and other audio controls is no longer there. Even the touchpad is gone. Instead, you have heated seats as a switch over there, and all the volume controls and audio controls have been moved to the screen, and you have a physical volume knob. So that's pretty good. It's new for this 2024 model year. The old robotic shifter is gone. Now you get a new shift-by-wire system, which looks pretty neat and clean, just like every other Lexus model. You get this new 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster, or a multi-information display if you want to call it that way. And the most important update, the new 12.3-inch touchscreen comes with wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. Pretty smooth and intuitive to use, nothing to complain about. It's got navigation as well, music, audio sources, no ambient lighting or anything of that such, and the sound system, it's not a branded sound system, it's just the Lexus premium 10 speaker sound system. It sounds pretty good though, it sounds pretty good. Leather wrapped steering wheel feels pretty good in the hand, nice beautiful contrast red stitching, paddle shifters at the back, F Sport badge, physical button still, which is a pretty good thing considering the new RX that I drove recently had capacitive touch buttons, so I wasn't a huge fan of that. I believe this is way better, so thank you Lexus for keeping them. You don't get a wireless charging option for this car. You get a normal tray over here to keep some things. You can keep your purse over there or whatever you want to keep. Two USB-C ports, two cup holders with spring triggers, pretty nice. You get EV mode and auto hold as well. So EV mode, again, it lets you drive the car only in EV mode when you have enough range in the hybrid battery. Auto hold, well, it lets you take your leg off the brake and keep the car stationary at the traffic light. So that's pretty nice. Now, coming to the center armrest, well, it can be opened from both sides and has quite some decent space. It does come with a, I believe that's a cigarette lighter as well as a USB-A port. It can be opened from both sides, which is pretty neat. Even the air conditioning controls are actually physical buttons with proper clear digital displays. So thank you Lexus for not putting touch controls. I think this is perfect. Just leave this as it is. It's pretty good. The seats, they're 8-way power adjustable. They do not come with memory function. And overall, yeah, they're pretty comfortable. I'm currently seated in the back seats of the Lexus UX, as you can see. So let's talk about the actual space here in the back. So let's talk about knee room. Well, it's kind of adequate. I mean, I've had a taller passenger sit in the front, and yeah, this is how much space I have. It's just about adequate, that's it. I have enough wiggle space for my feet. Well, actually not too much, but yeah, it's all right. Under thigh support is also just fine. So yeah, legroom overall is just decent. It's fine. And well, for other amenities in the back, well, you do get two AC vents. This is pretty good for our weather. You do get two USB-C charging ports. You get a storage compartment behind the passenger seat, however not behind the driver's seat. And what else? Beautiful dual tone finish here. There's a red and black. I kind of like it actually. It's pretty good. Get a sunroof, which is not panoramic, so that's that. And get an armrest with two cup holders, so that's also pretty good. ISOFIX child seat mounts. However, I wish the doors opened a bit more wider so it'd be easier to load child seats in, but yeah, we've got that. And overall it's fine. I mean, this is where you kind of notice the size of the UX. It's not that big. Even the glass area, yeah, it's decent. However, yeah, it does feel a little bit small here at the back, but overall it's fine. I mean, this is a subcompact crossover SUV, so it's fine. So what is the UX300h like to drive? Well, it's pretty good, you know. I'm pretty impressed, because normally when you hear the words hybrid and CVT in the same sentence, it's not the most enthusiastic, but this car is different. This car is different, and I'll explain in a bit. So the engine is a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder, the same old engine, hybrid. Produces 196 horsepower now instead of 181 horsepower and 188 newton meters of torque. So it's pretty adequate. It is more than enough for your daily commute. It's great in the city. It's all the power you really need, trust me. And you have different modes to play with, so you can kind of adjust the way it delivers the power. So for example, in Eco, you can feel a bit more resistance when you put your foot down. You know, it's a bit more smooth, a bit more conservative. Put it in normal mode, Sport S. Sport S, it picks up speed pretty fast. So yeah, you know, it is a pretty engaging car to drive, despite the fact that it has a CVT. And that's the best part about the UX, is that you can drive it in a sensible way, in a fuel-efficient manner, with comfort. At the same time, you can even put it in Sport S and get that full performance. So 196 horsepower is not less. Well, that said, some of the other driving features. So you do have paddle shifters, which, well, it's a CVT. You know what to expect. It's not particularly great. Steering wheel feels great in the hand. It's got sufficient feel and feedback. This car's handling is pretty good as well. It's quite nimble. It's light on its feet. I can place it exactly where I want it to be. It's really nice. For example, if I want to do a lane change, it's very smooth. It's very crisp. So I like that. Handling is great. Right, sometimes I felt it's a bit more towards the stiffer side, but it's fine actually, because I did a road through Al Qudra and it was very smooth, it was very comfortable. So yeah, it can be driven in a comfortable manner as well. And other than that, well, as for fuel economy, well, it gets a 4.2 liters per 100 combined, so that's the CAFE, combined fuel economy. But I'm averaging somewhere between 8 to 10 liters per 100. Again, if you drive it in a sensible manner, which I sometimes don't, you can achieve better fuel economy. So yeah, it is pretty good in that way. So overall, it's a nice car to drive, you know. It's got the Lexus qualities, it's got the refinement. We're coming up to a bump right now and I'll demonstrate the comfort. It's pretty good, you know, it's pretty good. For something this small, it sure has impressed me. However, there's a few things that we have to talk about. So one being the fact that there is no blind spot monitoring. There is no 360-degree parking camera, which definitely is a miss. And at this price point, you even don't get auto-dimming rear view mirrors. I believe it's an option on the UXs abroad, but for some reason they don't option it for the cars that come to the Middle East. So yeah, I think they should add auto-dimming rear view mirrors. It's not a big miss for me, but again, you know, the small things is what makes the difference. This is a luxury subcompact crossover SUV, and in that, I'd rather have auto-dimming mirrors than having to pull a lever to dim it. So yeah, take note of that, Lexus. That's an improvement to be done. Lane departure warning is there, which is pretty good. You also get the lane tracing assist, the typical adaptive cruise control in Lexus. So you put it on adaptive cruise and switch on or switch off lane tracing assist as you wish. And it's pretty good. It keeps you centered in the lane. It doesn't jerk you when you are trying to, for example, touching a lane. So for example, if I'm driving towards a lane, it automatically intervenes and pushes me back into the lane. So it's pretty comfortable in that way. And of course, it's a hybrid, so you can even drive it in EV mode. So you can click on the EV button right here. Well, right now the EV mode is unavailable because the speed range is exceeded. Well, I've reduced my speed a bit. So yeah, now I'm in EV mode and I can put it into Eco and drive it in a fuel efficient manner as well. There are a few luxury touches that Lexus have added to give it that premium feel. For example, when you put the wipers on, it's an interesting detail that I noticed. So when you put the wipers with the actual fluid, what happens is that once it wipes the entire windshield, it stops. And then, you know how sometimes when you put the wiper on and there's a small trail of fluid that's leaking down, so after a second, it puts the wiper once more to kind of remove that as well. So that's pretty cool because that's a very good premium touch. You also have one-touch power windows, which is again something that you would want to expect in this segment. But again, no double pane glass or anything. It's just a regular glass. But it's pretty quiet in here. The NVH levels are all right. It's not too loud. So yeah, NVH levels wise also it's pretty great. Well, there's one interesting button that you get in the Lexus UX, which I found pretty funny and interesting at the same time, is the ability to add pumped in sound to the speakers, which simulates the sound of the engine and even shifts of the gearbox. So well, yeah, it's a CVT, so you know what to expect. There's a button down here called ASC, it stands for Active Sound Control, which lets you add pumped in sound to the speakers, and here's what it goes like. So I'll give you a small taste of it. So I'm in second gear as per the indicator. Well, it doesn't exactly shift with the paddle shifters, the gear shift sounds, but it's quite gimmicky. But anyways, let's just have a listen at it. I'll get it in an open stretch of road. I'm going to put my foot down now. I don't know if you heard that, a very Lexus LFA kind of imitating sound. It's quite interesting, it's quite funny. But the one interesting thing is that it doesn't work exactly with the paddle shifters. Sometimes I do feel like it does work with the paddle shifters, but sometimes it doesn't. So yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bag really. Fourth, third, second. Yeah, it's just fine, that's it. Not particularly. Oh, so in Sport S, you have a particular tune. In Sport S Plus, it made a small difference. You can even hear the revs holding up in the speakers, but it's 1000 RPM on the tachometer, so yeah, it's quite funny. So yeah, that's it for the pumped in sound. I'm going to switch it off. Yeah, we'll get tired of it in like 2 minutes. But that said, the paddle shifters are somewhat engaging. I mean, even though it likes to go automatically into drive, it still does do something to give you that feel that you're not driving a CVT. So it's fine. It's actually not that bad. You know, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I'll give it to Lexus. They've done a pretty okay job of incorporating that. So final thoughts on the UX. It's an incredible car. You know, it's a great city car. It's got sufficient power. You can drive it in a fuel-efficient manner. Put it in Sport S Plus, and it will give you a jolt into the seat. I mean, I've had my phone fly out of the cup holders. It is pretty engaging to drive in the city, and even despite it being a CVT, it still is kind of involving to drive. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good car. It's comfortable as well. Rough road comfort is also all right. Sometimes a bit stiffer, but it's fine. You know, overall, it's pretty comfortable. It's got the Lexus DNA in it somewhere. So yeah, I mean, again, you'd be doing yourself a disservice if you didn't go take a look at the competition. So the Volvo XC40, the Mercedes-Benz GLA, BMW X1, X2, I mean, that's a bit more higher in the price bracket, but you know, test drive the competition and then take a decision. That would be my best tip. I think those who appreciate Japanese luxury with that whole reliability standpoint will definitely appreciate what this car stands for. So once again, if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends. Once again, stay safe, have a great day, and goodbye.